Hi everyone, this is Felix from admin of the forum therapist. I'm just thought I'd comment to some questions that were put up recently because I said it's a lot quicker if I just answer them on this rather than implying. So it was, I think a post started by Fedra saying I just have like an off button in my brain. I'm not scared of food, it's just an off button. I can't recall trauma. A lot of other people saying, I can't recall trauma too. So, okay, and then some other comments about things. So the first comment is, so I'm looking at notes, that there are many different ways why people get selective eating or ARFID. Yeah, I still call it selective eating is the first thing. They can be from birth. Yeah, so there can be intolerances, there can be allergies, there can be some kind of aversive reaction to food. And that time the brain just goes, oh, what's this thing? That doesn't agree with me. Oh, I'm off that. It's really all about losing trust with the food. So some people lose trust with food from day one, from birth. Later on, the 18-month-old is a time I hear time and time again, eating fine until 18 months old. I think there's some taste bud issues going on, some developmental changes there. So food suddenly tastes very different, too intense or something like that. It could be another illness, just feeling poorly, and of course the brain is going to blame food. Now, so it could be a number of reasons. Tongue tie is a reason. Just remember, people said, oh, no trauma for me. I did have tongue tie. Well, that is the trauma. Because, look, a trauma is any bad experience, okay, that makes the body think, whoa, I don't want that to happen again. And anything in this area, the brain is going to blame food. Yeah, you never have people have a knee operation and go off the food because it's just not associated. But if there's any problem with adenoids, tonsils, tongue tie, anything like that, the oral area, the first suspect is food. Food must have, I've eaten something in this area and food must have caused it. Yeah. So when we talk about trauma, as somebody said, it's not a life or death situation. It's this usually sudden, unexpected surprise, a bad one, when the brain says, okay, I don't trust that anymore. That's what I mean by trauma. Now, people also say, I've got this off switch. I'm not scared of food. My brain just doesn't want to do it. Okay, I call that mental block. Yeah. And we get a little bit hung up because some therapies really like, what's the cause of this? You don't actually need to know the cause to do therapy. We're dealing with ARFID, which is something that, for a lot of people happens 18 months old or before. I can't remember my kids did at 18 months, so we don't actually need to know what caused it. All we need to know is that your brain wants something else and it knows how to change it. So that's the hopeful thing. Let's not get hung up on causes and causes. Look, when my brain sees burning red hot coals, it has an off switch. It's not scared of the coals over there. It just says, not interested. Yeah. But here's the funny thing. I actually did something called a fire walk. Do you know that motivational thing? It's about 10 meters or burning red hot coals. And I did it because I was doing Freak Eaters, which is a program on ARFID many years ago. And, this is TV, so people are the producer's going to say, this week we'd like to do a bungee jump, and, next week we'd like to do a parachute jump, and how about walking burning coals? Because if they can walk, they can do a fire walk, they can eat tomato, yeah? So I can't be a hypocrite. I can't say to my client, right, this week I'd like to do a fire walk. It's really good for your courage and motivation. I would never do that. That's crazy. I would never do that. So I've got to do it myself, yeah? So if you think about it, we're able to persuade millions of years of evolution to do something new. My brain says, oh, red hot coals? And I say, well, the way the trainer has explained it, you're safe if you follow these instructions. And then I do follow them and I'm walking. I'm thinking, oh, yeah, it's true. I'm not getting burnt. And then I walk again. Oh, this is great. Yeah. So everyone gets hung up because we're very analytical in society, I don't understand this, so I'm doomed, or it won't work, there's something wrong with my brain. The only thing that's wrong with your brain is there's a misunderstanding. Yeah, and people say, oh, is it autism? Is it some defective wiring, some brain lesion? No, it's a simple misunderstanding. Most of the time, not every time. There's hardcore cases of sensory processing and other things, but most of the time, it's a simple misunderstanding. That's why my therapy, and Glenn and other people I train, is very quick. Yeah, it's correcting a misunderstanding, a misperception about things. An hour or less, yeah? It wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't kind of a simple thing going on that we could correct. So if you have any questions about this, I know a few people are watching, then do let me know. Although I might do a follow-up video. Somebody also mentioned, my video. So my video therapy is me talking to a cameraman as if to a client. So it's the general protocol for ARFID. And there's still this thing about hypnosis. I'm afraid of being hypnotized. Will I wake up and stuff? I mean, I just don't know how many times I can say this. Forget the hypnosis. Hypnosis is an optional thing. If you feel comfortable, if your subconscious mind feels comfortable and you want to relax and relax deeply, then you will. And if it doesn't, then you won't. We are not relying on the hypnosis for you to make the change. Yeah, I rely on negotiation and education and clarification with the subconscious mind to lead it to an outcome it wants. Yeah, everyone gets really hung up on how we're going to do it, and I keep saying, don't worry about the how. The majority of the session is preparation. Yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing. People say, oh, the hypnosis was only a short bit. We should focus on the hypnosis. Forget the hypnosis. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. It's about doing the setup. That's what will make the change, not the hypnosis. Yeah? I'm not depending on someone going super deep so then I compel them to eat food like a zombie. It doesn't work that way. I don't know how many more times I can say it. So it's not how this therapy works. And I do remind people, are you here to be hypnotized or here to change? Because, your brain might want one thing but not another. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. But again, forget the hypnosis aspect. It's a purely optional thing that your brain will elect to do if it feels comfortable. Yeah. So, okay, well, I think that I made some notes. I think I answered everything there. If there's any more questions about this, let me know. And I'll do another follow-up. So otherwise, have a good weekend. Yeah, it's a shame about the weather today, but there you go.